Modern mobile devices process highly sensitive enterprise data every day, but they do so entirely outside the physical security of the corporate perimeter. Because they are highly portable, the most immediate risk is that the endpoint gets physically stolen or left behind in a public space. But physical theft is only one attack vector. These devices are continuously targeted by digital threats, including credential harvesting phishing campaigns and hidden malware exploits. Securing a mobile endpoint against this wide array of threats is never a single toggle switch. It requires a defense-in-depth architecture, a series of overlapping security layers. To understand how this architecture works, we need to build a secure mobile environment from the ground up, starting with local device controls and scaling out to enterprise-wide management. As outlined in this official CompTIA slide, mastering these concepts directly applies to the A+2201202 exam objectives. Specifically, summarizing security measures under Objective 2.1 and applying common methods for securing mobile devices under Objective 2.8. This approach moves beyond treating the smartphone as a personal gadget. We are managing it as a zero-trust enterprise endpoint. The foundation of this defense stack begins at the local device level, starting with access control. A screen lock is the primary physical barrier preventing an unauthorized user from simply picking up a device and reading confidential emails or corporate messages. Mobile operating systems offer 4 primary authentication methods: alphanumeric pins, biometric scans, and pattern locks. Simple locks can be bypassed by brute force guessing algorithms, so they require programmatic restrictions. Notice the failed login restrictions at the bottom of the graphic. By gradually increasing lockout times after incorrect attempts and enforcing auto-lock timers during inactivity, the operating system neutralizes brute force tools and limits the window for social engineering attacks. But what happens if an attacker bypasses the physical screen entirely, perhaps by extracting the storage drive or manipulating a USB connection? Modern mobile operating systems counter this by utilizing file-based encryption, translating local data into unreadable ciphertext when the device is secured. There is a critical operational rule here. File-based encryption is tied to the user's authentication state. The storage is only actively protected when locked. And even an encrypted, locked device remains vulnerable if the operating system itself contains unpatched software flaws that attackers can exploit to bypass those locks. Looking at the first point on this summary, the primary function of a software patch is to close known vulnerabilities. This is why maintaining up-to-date operating systems and applications is a mandatory security practice. Regular updates proactively close zero-day exploits before they can be weaponized and ensure the device communicates securely with network APIs. A physical screen lock accomplishes nothing if the underlying storage isn't encrypted, and encryption offers little defense if an attacker exploits an unpatched operating system. Local physical controls offer no protection against remote attacks that trick the user into compromising the device through malicious downloads or fake login pages. To defend against remote compromise, we must introduce active threat monitoring like mobile antivirus software. This graphic illustrates how these services operate locally. Antivirus engines detect and block malicious downloads, while services like Google Play Protect continually scan installed apps for suspicious behavior. Shifting to the right, firewalls and VPNs stop remote exfiltration and block phishing connections. Mobile firewalls typically utilize local VPN configurations to filter network traffic. This allows the system to block unauthorized background connections and sever communication with known phishing domains without requiring root access. If a user still falls for a phishing hook and hands over their credentials, we rely on the identity layer to protect sensitive corporate applications. Two-factor authentication, or 2FA, ensures a password alone is never enough. It requires combining something you know with something you have or something you are. In the enterprise, a user first enters their password and then immediately verifies their identity using a local fingerprint scan or an authenticator app code. 2FA serves as the ultimate gatekeeper. It supports zero-trust security models by continuously demanding verification before granting access to critical email or cloud resources. Even if a threat actor intercepts a user's password, the breach is stopped because they do not possess the physical 2FA token. We have now established a robust set of local controls. But how does an enterprise guarantee these security layers are active on hundreds of remote devices they don't even physically own? The solution is mobile device management, or MDM, a centralized policy engine that bridges the gap between the isolated endpoint and the corporate network. This diagram demonstrates the MDM topology. The central system acts as a command center, automatically pushing Wi-Fi certificates, VPN endpoints, and email profiles directly to remote phones. Crucially, it enforces compliance, allowing administrators to mandate strong passwords, require encryption, and strictly regulate installed applications. This solves the BYOD dilemma. The MDM strictly separates corporate data from personal data, placing enterprise assets into encrypted, isolated containers. The MDM also utilizes conditional access. If a device is detected as rooted or jailbroken, the MDM will automatically cut off its access to the corporate network. By centralizing these policies, MDM integrates individual, disconnected devices into a unified, automated corporate security perimeter. With the MDM actively enforcing our policies, we have successfully built a fully layered defense architecture. Reviewing this configuration checklist, we can confirm the critical components are active: secure screen locks, two-factor authentication, remote locator applications, and continuous security software. With the device secured, IT support transitions to operational readiness, specifically addressing CompTIA Objective 3.2 regarding troubleshooting mobile OS software. When users report performance degradation, excessive battery drain, or application crashes, technicians must perform basic local diagnostics before escalating the ticket as a complex security incident. The most effective initial troubleshooting step is a simple device restart. A hard reboot clears active RAM, kills frozen background tasks, and forces system services, like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, to cleanly reinitialize. But if a device remains entirely unresponsive, or if a user reports the phone is physically lost, basic troubleshooting ends and crisis remediation begins. At this stage, administrators must utilize the high-privilege command managed by the MDM, the remote wipe. There is a critical distinction between a full factory reset and a selective wipe for BYOD environments. A selective wipe targets only the isolated corporate container. It destroys sensitive enterprise emails, VPN certificates, and internal applications, while leaving the employee's personal photos, messages, and apps completely intact. True mobile security is an ongoing lifecycle. It requires implementing layered technical controls on the device, automating their enforcement through MDM, and maintaining the operational readiness to decisively wipe data the moment those defenses fail.